Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Hope everybody is doing fine and well. Welcome to this week's episode of Andrew's 5-minute book reviews. Really enjoying presenting these to you folks, and in particular enjoy the comments that you guys are leaving on the shows as well. If you've got any recommendations that you want me to read or other people to read, as far as music biographies and books go, let us know and we'll talk about some recommendations. This week, coming on the Ranking the Tracks show on Sunday with the Rock Professor, we've got a special guest. We've got Jim Jazz Thunder 50 joining us again. And the album that we're going to rank, folks, is called the Brown Album, otherwise known as the band's second album, The Band. It's the one brown. Got all the band members standing there. It's a pretty cool cover. Fantastic album, incredible album. Really looking forward to talking about this album with you guys and the Rock Professor and Jim. Brad can't join us this week, so we send out, as always, our best wishes and our best regards. Brad's got a very important thing that he's doing this weekend. I can't tell you what he's doing. He might tell you next week what he's done. Anyway, back to the review. The review that I want to talk to you about, it's a digital copy that I got around 2020, and I think it may have been one that I read during that global lockdown thing that we had. The biography is called Levon, From Down in the Delta to the Birth of the Band and Beyond. So it's a biography on Levon Helm. And I have to mention this too, the author is a woman, and a lot of the books that I've read over the years, folks, and a lot of the biographies and music books generally are written by men, dudes, cats, not women. So Sandra B. Tooze is the author. Fantastic biography. It has everything that I like in a biography, folks. It's got the history of where Levon came from, the community, Turkey Scratch, you know, this community that he was born into in Arkansas, and how it was a melting pot for all the music, you know, country, hillbilly, bluegrass, rock and roll, rockabilly, blues. It was all around that area, and how it was distilled into Levon. Talks about, obviously, the band that he was in, with Robbie Robertson, with the Canadian guy. What a review this is. I don't even know. I can't remember. He's a guy that wears a hat. Anyway, forgive me for not having that detail. Oh gosh. I'll include it in the review, in the description, the name that's escaping me. Anyway, what's really great about the biography, again from my perspective, is that it talks about obviously the band and how they became the backing band with the hottest ticket in the music world, Bob Dylan. And how that was a interesting and really important experience for the guys that went on to form the band. Just imagine, folks, playing every night and people booing. Just booing everything that you're doing, everything you do on stage is just met with hostility. But they continued, they pushed forward, Robbie especially. But obviously it had a little bit of an impact on Levon because he left. And Robbie talks about that in the Band of Brothers documentary too, fondly. And then he goes off and drills for oil. Anyway, rejoins the band, and then they produce music from Big Pink, and then they do this second album. That history is phenomenal in this biography. Fully recommend it. What Sandra has done really well, folks, too, is that she has spoken to drummers, Jim Keltner in particular, one of the greatest session drummers in the world, and she's got him to describe Levon's drumming style. What Levon did differently from other guys, other drummers, and how Levon inspired Charlie Watts. Influenced Charlie Watts to a degree. Talks about the gear that Levon used. So if you're a drummer, you're going to get that important information. If you're a music fan, that's a guitar player that loves reading biographies and is interested in that significant detail, you're going to get it in this biography. And then obviously talks about the music, the albums, and nails that really well. Like a lot of the biographies I've been talking about with you folks, I'm recommending them. There's one little interesting thing that I'd like to end this review on. So if you're familiar with the history of the band, you know, there were issues around songwriting, royalties, and who actually wrote the songs. You know, Richard and Levon, you know, and Rick made comments, you know, that they contributed to the songs, and they found that they weren't included as songwriters. And what Sandra does is she doesn't take a side, but she gives a very good account of what Robbie says in defense of why he should get recognition for writing the songs. And then obviously gives us a presentation of what Levon, Richard, Garth, and Rick have said over the years as well. Like all brotherhoods, like all close-knit bands, groups, you know, there is that tension that's caused a lot of things, you know, problems over the years. But Robbie, again, talks fondly about how he managed to spend time with Levon before he passed away. It's always a great thing. Thanks, folks, for watching these reviews. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate it. Love doing the ranking of the tracks with you, with the Rock Professor, with Brad, and our special guests. We had Brody on last week talking about Eric Clapton. We've got Michael. He's going to come on and join us, and we're going to talk about Eric Clapton. We've got John and Jimmy and Les Paul doing the Van Halen stuff on the channel. Alan Garber jumps on. We've got Tanner jumping on. If you guys want to come on and join us and hang out and be part of a show, let me know. Let one of the other co-hosts know, and we'll get you on. Thanks for watching.